Today's actually a very exciting day in my business. At 11 o'clock today, I'm actually going to do forensics for somebody who got very, very hurt in a commercial application. So say a prayer for me today. I'd like to elucidate that I'm an operation type of electrician. When people call, it's, you know, the needs that they have as a customer and the needs of their insurance companies. Many times when you do remediation, I have to vie for my customer through the insurance company. Written reports, and there are always acquisitions that are needed and the demands that are needed for my customer. As an expert in these areas of electrical knowledge, they become sometimes court appearances. It happens, unfortunately, for people. But what we do is additions. We do, big screen TVs, service upgrades, commercial fit outs, LED security lighting, parking lot lighting. After doing this since 1983, it's been a wonderful proceeding for me. I love what I do. It's very exciting to see the young lady that after we're done, we put the recessed lighting in and now she has lights to read. Or somebody who was elderly and we put in a chairlift system and now they can go up and down the steps because, their wife just had a stroke and that's going to be the rest of her life or his life of going up and down the steps. It happens every day. I went into business in 2009. I enjoyed what I do, so I said I think I have the chutzpah to do it for myself. As everybody here is an owner of a business, and it's not easy. It takes long hours, and you dedicate to what you need and what you want to be. The next thing I can tell you is the direction that my company is moving forward in has been wonderful, and it's been through this group that's helped tremendously, and I appreciate all the candor and the extendency that this group has offered, and I've recommended it to many, many people. Electricity is a phenomenon. That's all I can tell you. You know how to create it, know how to control it, but nobody knows how it works. It's a phenomenon. One of the biggest things I've educated myself lately on that I really are excited about and really educated myself on is lightning. It's not a tangible thing. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's a plasma. It's the fourth dimension. It's not length times width times height. It's the fourth dimension. Fifth dimension, of course, being time. And of course, we're not going to go into E equals MC squared here and get you into a tangent. But it's a wonderful proceeding of when somebody's home is hit by lightning or an next door neighbor is hit by lightning, your home needs to be checked. We've many times afterwards, lights are working, outlets are working, and we'll test. And that outlet right there is bad. It's working fine, the TV's on. Okay, well, let's hack up the wall because the insurance company's paying for it. Open it up, outside jacket looks great. Raise your knife and open it up. Nothing but 2 pieces of copper inside, it's all melted. Ready to burn your house down, whether it's 4 months, 18 months, 3 years and 17 hours, whatever it is. It's time oriented, and it causes a problem for people's homes. Nobody, and Heather can contest to this, nobody ever in a release in their home says, oh yeah, by the way, my house was hit by lightning back a couple years ago, it was cool. Lost a couple TVs, that's the end of it. The insurance company plays a game, especially if you're older. Case in point, we have one this week. Gentleman's 80 years old, he sold his home. House was hit by lightning right before the settlement. So, wow, what do we do here? It's not like in settlement, it says aluminum wiring, check here, house hit by lightning, check here. So they play a game that the new person who's taking over the home, 3 years, 6 years later, the house burns down. Well, the fire marshal's going to come in and go, hell, it was bad, that's the end of the problem. So if you're the one that's the house had the problem, and you're outside with the fire trucks. I can only superimpose to you so much. A friend of mine went, changed the switch, right on the wall, Sicklerville home, house burned down 2 weeks later, cost him $15,000, hired an attorney to prove. He wasn't the one that had anything to do with it. It's like Bart, don't hang a door on your house and your garage door falls down, you're gonna sue him. Had nothing to do with nothing, but that's the entity of the business. You're the last one in. You're the last one that was there. You had knowledge of the existence of a problem. You should have let the people know. These are intricacies of the business. And it's fun and it's enjoyable, But you have to do your due diligence, and you have to stay educated, and you have to tell the people the truth. And that's the difficult part. Nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody likes the truth. I don't like it. Joe, you're ugly. Yeah, you're right. But it's the truth. You're not that handsome of a guy. But you have to accept it. That's the reality I have. So you play the cards you have. But I'd like to lastly leave you with what you need to do for you is just to make sure when you hire somebody who's an electrical contractor that they have experience. Most important thing. When I go to the doctor, I don't want to hear, I killed enough people till I got it right. I went to school. I graduated. I passed the test. I'm approved. If I have a lawyer, I want a bar-approved lawyer. If I have a plumber, I want somebody who went to school. Not I hooked up enough stuff until the flood stopped. I want an expert. I want somebody who's been doing this for a long time. Whether it's your child who's going to the doctor to be sick, do you really want to grab that guy that just came out of, around the corner school? No, I want to see Brown on electric. I want to see, Columbia. Where did you go to school? If you only went to Rutgers, that's great, but you passed the test. I want somebody who did it correctly for years. And that's the difference that I offer, is the experience that comes with it. I've been doing this for 35 years paid. Somebody's paid me to do electrical work for 35 years. There's people in this room that are probably not even 35 years old, Heather. That's really it. I'll take any questions. None? Not a one? Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what you told me earlier about the electric bill at some of these places that you were
This is probably one of the most inefficient buildings I've ever set foot in. The electric bill here is anywhere from $140,000 in November to $190,000 in the summer. In this room, I've said it before, count the light bulbs. There's over 100, and every one of them is inefficient. The lighting outside is inefficient, the parking lot lighting is inefficient, the hallway lights are inefficient, all the way through this whole building. It amazes me that they probably lose about $1 million a year in just lost electricity and revenue in this building. This building's been here for 20 years. But you have to have the intelligence to invest in your business, the rate of return versus the loss. I had a lawyer, he didn't want to spend the money on changing his lights in his office. I spent all this money and I've all this excess light bulbs. Yeah, but you're wasting your money. Mr. Ruoff's laughing because he understands that the nature of people and understanding of educational funds and finances is always funny with people. I said, you might as well just put them on eBay. You're wasting your money. But I bought them. You're wasting your money. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
You've had some interesting jobs over the years, some big companies.
Yes.
Tell us about some of those, for the pharmaceutical companies, the hospitals.
Oh, yeah. Merck Pharmaceutical, A's Research Testing. I was one of the first people in the labs for that. GTE building in North Jersey. It's 9 computer rooms that did do this New York Stock Exchange. One of those horrifying days of my life, but we had to be done at 9 o'clock in the morning. And we came in at midnight and we had to be done, not 9:01 in 13 seconds. You had to be done at 8:59:59. And we made it by like 2 minutes. It was very nerve-wracking. But yeah, hospitals, MRI machine, one of the first ones ever in the country.
Do you install machinery, manufacturing equipment?
Absolutely, printing presses, 3-phase different equipment, laser cutters, plasma cutters, binders, variable frequency
So when
drives.
companies buy equipment, they don't, the people that supply the equipment don't necessarily install it, they still need an electrician?
Absolutely, and many times, like we did a huge fan, the programming book was 59 pages. It took me an hour and a half to read how to program the ceiling fan. It's the future. Everything is involved. Yes, sir.
Joe, with reference to LED lighting, the retrofit bulbs going into like a pre-existing
Yes.
fluorescent fixture.
Mm-hmm.
So I got those 4-foot LED tubes now. Are they efficient? Or-
Yes. There's 2 types. There's the kind where you remove the ballast, and there's the kind you leave the ballast in. Leave the ballast in. Because what happens is you're not there, and your coworker runs and says, oh, the light's out. Oh, well, we got these older 4-footers, just put that in. Well, you took the ballast out. You have glass all over the whole place, it explodes. So if you leave the ballast in, it's always safer because if they interchange an older T8 bulb, it's not going to detonate. And then, of course, that would be a horrific day for everybody concerned. Yes, sir.
Would you share with the group when we talk about, what do you see with power lines, say, in the next 50 to 100 years?
Tesla was way ahead of his time. It will be wireless electric in this room. Somebody just sent me an email. He's the guru of electricity probably in the whole world. His name is Thomas Burnett. And he's been really gracious to me and helped me in my business many times, whether it be about lightning or whatever it is. This guy's cumulative VITI takes 12 minutes to read. His resume takes 12 minutes for the average person to read. That's how superimposed he is. It gets into a lot of different areas of, I gotta stop. It gets into a lot of areas, yeah, I'm sorry. It gets into a lot of different areas of expertise and time. That's the most important thing, time. You need the time. Anything else? Thank you, Mr. Roth.